Um, so I know that Year Up is a workforce development program, as you all know. It's helping you get real skills that you need for the real working world. So I was just kind of curious this morning. I was like, you know what, advanced Excel, for a lot of people, it's not something they're prepared for, not something they have a whole lot of proficiency in. So what's the why for advanced Excel? If we're thinking about it, we're all in here today because we want to advance in our careers. We all want to get the best job we can get after graduating from the program. So I decided to go over here to Indeed.com and type in advanced Excel. I'll change it from the Bronx to New York because that's where we're all based out of. And there's currently 4,053 jobs within 25 miles of New York City that want advanced Excel. That's pretty amazing, isn't it? Like 4,000 jobs within 25 miles. And some of these jobs look really cool. Like there's one is a not-for-profit, senior manager, partnerships, delivering good, 75K a year, not bad. There's one, government contracts, if working with people that are in the system, sheltering arms, children, family services in Astoria, Queens, 75 to 85 a year, working for the New York City Department of Youth and Community Services, Manhattan, near the financial district, 60 to 90 a year. I mean, there's a project manager job that wants advanced Excel. So just, I just want to share this with you all because it's pretty amazing. I was like really surprised that 4,000 jobs in New York City are all looking for advanced Excel. And it's hard to come by people who really know their way around Excel and are experienced in it. So, and you can do it for any city. I mean, let's suppose you're like, you know what, the snowstorm is coming this week. I don't want snow anymore. I want to move to Florida. 627 jobs in Orlando, Florida that want advanced Excel. Or maybe you're like, you know what, California would be kind of cool. I want to go out to the Bay. 1,866 jobs, 1,866 jobs. San Francisco, one advanced Excel. So, can you put USA? No, you can't. All right. Anyways, a lot of jobs that want this. It's in high demand, well-paying jobs. Excel is used in almost every sort of industry. Yes, thank you so much for sharing that. So yeah, please, I want to encourage you that you have this opportunity to learn in the next month and a half. Really dig in. I know it's going to be challenging, but I am going to help you along the journey and along the path. The second thing I wanted to bring up after that is the LinkedIn. So I know some of you are having trouble logging on to your LinkedIn and getting the LinkedIn premium account. So for those of you who are like, wait, what's LinkedIn again? Last week, I sent you a personalized link that will give you bring you to a LinkedIn page that is able to take you to an item you can click on that gives you what's called a LinkedIn premium account. All right, so if you have a LinkedIn premium account, it means you have a little gold LinkedIn logo next to your name. Let me show you what mine looks like. And some people were having problems with it. They're like, I can't get it. The link is giving me an error message. So like, here's my LinkedIn. You see this little gold LinkedIn logo next to my name, Eric Hoke, my title here. So that means I have premium. And that means that I can go over to LinkedIn Learning in the top right, and I can literally watch millions of hours of videos on any topic that I'm interested in. Every single one of you need access to LinkedIn premium, okay? So if you're having trouble, if you can't get it, what I want you to do is this. I want you to make sure you're logged in to like your computer. Don't log on your phone, log in on your computer. And then once you're logged in on LinkedIn, then I want you to click on the link I sent you and make sure, and this sounds really elementary, but I know we can all figure it out, that when you click on the link, it's not opening it up into a different browser. So some people, they log in on LinkedIn on Chrome, and then they click on the link and it opens up Internet Explorer, and they're like, oh, it's not working, it's giving me an error message. That's because you're not logged in on, on Internet Explorer, you're logged in on Chrome. So make sure you're logged in on the right browser, Then you're clicking on the link, it's opening the same browser, and you should not have a problem. Someone asked me last week, do I have to join LinkedIn Premium? Listen, I'm telling you, we have 4 weeks of coursework for Advanced Excel. The videos on there are going to be really helpful to get you up to speed. You're going to realize today within the first 10 minutes of instruction, oh shoot, I don't know what's happening right now and I'm very overwhelmed. Those videos are going to help you substantially, all right? If you don't feel comfortable being on a social media network, I totally understand. Just make a dummy account. All right, just put a random name. Your name's Joe Schmo. You live in Westchester County. Don't have a picture of a cat wearing sunglasses. I don't care, but just please be on a premium account and please go in and have, do those courses I'm telling you to do. Because if not, we're gonna get into our classroom time, and I'm gonna be explaining the exact same concepts that they talked about in the video. I'm just reiterating them. And for those of you who, watch the videos, you're gonna say, this is a nice refresher. And those of you who did not watch the video, you're gonna be like, wait, what is it now? I'm so confused what's happening. And it's not fair to your, 27 other colleagues if you're the only one who's like, I didn't watch the videos, I'm confused what's happening when everyone else did. All right, so yes, you need to get LinkedIn Learning. Can you send the recent link? Okay, if you are not able to still get it, please don't chat box me right now because I can't field every single person's question at the same time. Email me and send me a screenshot of what you see when you pull it up. Now, bear in mind, if you're on a computer, if you're logged into LinkedIn, and you click on the link and it opens in the same browser where you're logged in on, it should work, all right? I had to troubleshoot a few people last week, and that was the common theme over and over. They would be logged into LinkedIn on Chrome, and then they would click on the link, it would open up an Internet Explorer, and it would say it's not working. Well, that's because you're in 2 different browsers. To make sure that you're logged into the same browser that's gonna open when you click the link. Nice mug, Manny, I like that one. So if you're trying and you're trying and still not working, email me, show me a screenshot, we'll troubleshoot together, but you need to be on that because that's gonna help you be successful in the next 4 weeks. So that's what I'll share about LinkedIn. Next thing I'm gonna share, let me go ahead and pull it up on my screen. This is already in Schoology, but this is the syllabus for this class, all right? Now look at this syllabus. Very simple, very cut and dry. You have 4 grades. I want you to draw your attention to that very last one, class participation. So I just did the class participation, on the grading day, and some of you I had to give a 0 to. Why did I give you a 0? I never once saw you on camera the whole entire mod. I don't even know what you look like. I couldn't pick you out of a crowd of people, all right? So I know not everyone can be on camera the whole entire class. You have bandwidth issues. I'm totally cognizant of that. That's fine. But at least try to be on for like 5 to 10 minutes of class. You're going to the working world in a month and a half, and you can't go to a meeting and be off camera, all right? It just is not going to be a good look for your brand. So normally 10% of your final grade is class participation, but we're doing 25% of your final grade is I'm going to be on camera, at least as much as I can. I'm going to type things in the chat box when Eric asks a question or a colleague asks a question, and I'm going to participate. I'm going to raise my hand. I'm going to, share out. I'm going to do that. Typically what happens in this class of 30 people is I don't need to say the names because we've all been working together for a few months, so we know. But the same 5 to 10 people answer every single question every single time. Number one, that's not fair to them because they want to hear from you just as much as I do. And I want to make sure that you can get 100% on the class participation by doing 3 really easy things. Turn on your camera, say things in the chat box, and volunteer to share out. Not cold calling, not, can I pick on you, Manny, because I know that you're not this type of person. Not, okay, Manny, I haven't heard from you in the last 2.5 weeks. What do you think? Right? That's not you sharing out. You sharing out is you raising your hand and saying, I'll share out. We're going to have a final project. It most likely will be an exam, very similar to the midterm that we did for project management. It'll most likely be that. I'm still working out those details. Discussion boards are completely linked to your LinkedIn Learning. So you're going to watch the LinkedIn Learning videos, and then you're going to post on the discussion board what you're learning from them. And that will help me sort of form the lectures as well. Because if there's a concept where you're like, yeah, I don't really get this, concept, then that means that in class, I know to emphasize that concept. But there's one concept where you're like, oh, this is easy. I totally got this from the video. Then I won't spend as much time on that. So if you don't have the LinkedIn Premium account and you don't have LinkedIn Learning, then you can't do the discussion boards. And then that's going to be a really big bummer. And then deliverables. And I'm going to let you guys know, deliverables will be much more scaled back in this class. All right. There might be a discussion board and one deliverable per week. And you'll be given adequate class time to work on the deliverables. So I know you're all good at math here. So if you got, did all your deliverables, which you're gonna have class time to do, and submitted those correctly, you did a discussion board every single week on Tuesday night and Thursday night, you post and respond, and you had your camera on and you raised your hand and you engaged in the chat box, did all those things and still got a 0 on your final, guess what? You still passed the class. You got 75% in the class. So I'm making it really easy on you, not because I want to make the class easy, but because I don't want you to be stressed out about not understanding how Excel works. We're going to go along this journey together. I'm going to really need to encourage all of you to watch the videos, post on the discussion boards, engage in the classroom, all of that good stuff. All right. So that's that. Also, one last thing, and then I think I'm done with announcements. Thank you all for your patience. Is during the Excel mod, we're going to have who are called Excel mavens. So Excel mavens are people who share with me early on in program that they have a level of proficiency in Excel. All right, doesn't mean that they're experts. To be totally honest, I'm not an expert either. But there's some people who are like, I know a thing or two about it. I understand how it works, and I'm happy to help out. So every single week, we'll have 2 to 3 people, and they're going to be sort of like the assistant instructors / operations managers for the course of the whole entire week. And they're going to help me run the class in different capacities. So maybe they'll be in a breakout room. Maybe they'll be available for one-on-one coaching if you're struggling with the concept, or maybe some of them will even teach one of the concepts that we're going to be addressing here in class. All right. So this week, go ahead and get your digital clapping ready. Amna and Majida are our Excel mavens for the week. So what that means is I'm going to teach the lesson, and then we're going to have an opportunity for you to practice what we just discussed, and then what we're going to be doing after that is you're going to have a chance to, if you're like, I'm really stuck, I don't know what's happening, that's fine. I'll put you into a room with Amna and Majida to help coach you through how to get it done. But there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to do the deliverable that is due today. All right. I feel like I just said 1,500,000 things. Any questions, you can please raise your hand, and I'm happy to field that. If not, we're going to move to Ricardo, who has our leadership moment for the day. Going once, going twice. All right. Thank you so much. Appreciate you all being here on time, being here on camera, being available, ready to learn. I'm going to ask Mr. Ricardo. He's going to share a 5-minute workshop for us, followed by a 5-minute Q&A, and then we'll jump into today's lesson. So, Ricky, the floor is yours.
Hey guys, good morning. So today I'm here to talk to you guys about problem solving skills, or what problem solving is, which unfortunately not everybody is capable of. We'll start off with what problem solving is. Problem solving is the ability for you to take action when certain problems come up, the ability to get over these problems. And I have found 5 easy steps for people to be able to, problem solve in any situation, especially in project management, which it's something that we just went over. One of the first steps that you take towards that is defining the problem. If you're not able to define the problem or find what's causing the problem, there's no way for you to move forward. There's no way for you to address the issue, which leads up to the next step, which is determining the causes. This can be a task, this could be a person, this could be anything that is causing your problem. it's it's often hard to find what the cause is when, especially when it leads to it being a specific person, because there's times where people can't deal with the problem. Certain example is I was serving the other day, and these two servers didn't want to deal with an issue. They didn't want to problem solve with a guest that we had. They were avoiding the guest. They weren't determining what was actually causing it, which I had to step in and use the next step, generate ideas. How was I going to solve this? What was it going to do? What kind of steps was I going to take towards solving the issue? And then this steps is one of the most crucial because you can go many different ways. You can think of hundreds of different ways that you're going to take into action in order to, actually resolve the issue, which moves on to the next. Out of all those hundreds of ideas that you had, is you got to select the best solution. You can't just go with the easiest. You have to go with the one that might resolve the issue and future issues that might have to deal with it, which is why when you select the solutions that you are taking for problem solving, it often can take time, but when you get to the right solution, there's nothing but good things to come forward. And then last but not least is to take action. You can't just think of all these solutions and not actually implement them into your problem. Um, for example, like I was mentioning earlier, there was that situation with certain guests that I had to deal with, and the only way for me to deal with it was to take action to actually find out what was causing the issue and things like that. And I did. I resolved the issue, and I had nothing but a satisfied customer at the end, and no issues with management or myself at the end of the day. And that is my small workshop on problem solving, guys. And like Eric
Excellent.
said, Eric, you're on mute. I'll move on to questions.
Awesome. Can we give a round of applause to Ricky for going first and sharing his seminar? So we have a 5 minute window. Please go ahead and raise your hand. I'll call on you and you can ask Ricky a question in regards to his workshop. As we're waiting for people to think of a question, I have one, Ricky.
Yes,
What
sir.
do you do when you come across a problem and emotions are very high? Like I know in the restaurant industry, you're working hard, you're on your feet, there's a lot going on, and a mistake happens, and instead of thinking critically, just get mad or annoyed at the problem. How do
Oh,
you
yeah.
handle that when your emotions are getting the best of you?
That's actually something that within that I should have mentioned, but with that problem that I was facing, I was the busiest server on that day. It was Thanksgiving, and my colleagues were not being very helpful. They just kept telling me, "Oh, you go do it, you go do it." So I started getting, upset. I wasn't gonna make the best decision, so I took some time and I actually got someone that was actually helpful and told them if they could just watch over my section for like a minute, so I can go breathe and think thoroughly of what I was actually gonna do, and I just think based on emotions, which is something that can be very detrimental when you are trying to resolve some issues. David, shout out to you.
Yeah, yeah, appreciate that. So you took a moment just to catch your breath, calm down, you know, because we don't make the best decisions when our emotions are high. Yeah, that's for sure. Awesome. Any other questions? Oh yeah, Ashley Ross has a question for you, Ricky.
Hi, Ricardo. I have a question for you. My
Yes.
question is, how would you address something that you cannot address right then and there?
So, like we just learned in project management, projects may take a very long time, may take very short amount of time. There's times when an issue takes actually time to resolve, and issues don't have a single day resolution for you to solve, a easy way for you to solve them. So it takes time. There's times where an issue needs to be resolved over a brief amount of time. There might be steps that you need to take. For example, if it's with a person, you need to start with the person, and if at the end of the day you need to get rid of the person and that is the solution, it's not the easiest for you to just come up to them and be like, all right, you're gone. There are steps that you could take to try to resolve the solution with this person, but at the end of the day, if they don't want to be a part of the solution, then the solution would be to get rid of them, and that's something that you can't just, you know, go based on the whim, and it takes time.
Thanks, Ricardo.
Great question, Ashley. Great answer, Ricardo. And one thing that I found as well is, it's really easy to come in and just be like, no, we're doing it this way and that's that. But most people don't respond well to that, right? So like if there's a problem, Ricardo, you can't do it in every moment, but I'm sure you found it useful in your career to sort of pull everyone's head together and like, okay, what's the best plan moving forward? And people have more buy-in to the solution as opposed to, well, this person just told me what to do. They said, no, this was my idea. I was part of a team. We worked together to come to a solution. So, all right, great, Mr. Ricardo. We really appreciate you. We appreciate your leadership moment. We'll do one of those about every day, 5 to 10 minutes, just to share something that we were learning that we're experts in. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with Excel. I'm going to share my screen. So we're going to talk about shortcuts today and what different ways that we can do that. So as you can see by looking at my screen, you see an example of a very, very wealthy person's budget. All right, so this person, we're assuming this is their monthly income, and that they're able to pull in quite a bit of money. I don't know why my screen's acting so weird. Let me see here. There we go. So they're able to pull in, $33,000 a month. This is all of the bills that they have, including a $9,500 per month house, which they must live in a mansion because that's a ridiculous amount of money for a house. But hey, maybe they have a very large family. I don't know. And go down the list, you can see their groceries, their car payment, shopping, entertainment, paying their mother's expenses. They're a very good child, all the way down to total expenses. All right. So what we're going to do is that I want to do this collaboratively. So for those of you who know how to answer the questions, I'm actually going to give you control of my screen and the ability to solve this problem and show everybody else how to solve it. So we're going to go through these seven problems together for this budget. And I want you to imagine that someone hands you this budget and they say, okay, find all of the formulas. There's basically two ways you can do that. There's the very slow, annoying way, which is to click through every single cell individually. But there's also a really quick shortcut where you can find all the formulas on the spreadsheet in about 10 seconds. Someone will raise their hand and I'll give you my remote control and you can show me how to do it. All right, Majid, I saw your hand first. Giving you my mouse, my keyboard. All right, should work. Go ahead, give it a try.
Is it working?
It's working. Yeah, we can hear you.
Got it. So like first, it's like as you mentioned, Eric, that if you were just to click onto them, it would give you the formulas. But instead, if you go onto the formulas tab right up over here, and you're going to look for formula auditing, and then there's this right over here that shows formula, and it's simply for all of the column that wherever the formula is being taken place. Instead of it actually just showing you the product of the formula itself, it's going to show you the formula right over there instead. So for example, for some formula is right here. You see the equal sign sum and then the tables that are being added up. And then at the end, right at the end over here as well.
Excellent. So as you all can see, what Majida just did is she went up to the formulas at the top of her Excel spreadsheet. She clicked on that button there to show formulas, and what it do, it automatically populates. Do me a favor, Majida, click on that button again, the show formulas, and now she clicks on it again, and it goes back to what we just saw. One more time, Majida, click on it. So clicks on it, there it is. Look at cell B5, look at cell B24. That's the formulas. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and take control back. Thank you, Majida. Abort control. All right, that's the first one. So the other way that you can do that, does someone else know David Torres, do you know the other way to do that?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Do you know there's one way Maja showed us, there's one other way. You familiar with the other way to show the formulas?
Yeah, I believe it was Control tilde.
Yes, excellent. Can you do me a favor in the chat box and put the tilde symbol for those who are unfamiliar? So I'm doing it right now. It's a
I
control
believe it's
tilde.
a squiggly line.
It's like the squiggly line. Yeah, that's probably the non-technical
Yeah.
term for it. That's what I call it too. On my computer, it's right to the left of the one. You press control tilde, and then that can go ahead and do it. All right. So if you're ever given a workbook and it's like, imagine this is a very simple workbook. There's not that many lines of data, but imagine if you got one that was, hundreds of lines of data and it was like, find all the formulas. That would be really annoying to try to click through every single one, find one. This way is a way you can do it within 5 to 10 seconds. So there's the way that Maja just shared, formulas, show formulas, or there's also the tilde symbol. All right, let's keep moving on. So as we can tell by looking at this, is that B5 is a very important cell, all right, because this tells us how much money this person earned. So question number 2 that we're going to do together, I saw Ashley Ross's hand first, is how can I know what cells is B5 dependent to? So Ashley, I'm going to go ahead and give you control of the mouse.
Actually, I had a question.
Yeah, of course.
So my question is this on Schoology so we can like follow along as you're doing it? I don't see
Yeah.
it.
It should be. What I want you to do is if you want to do it now, you can. I was actually going to give you an assignment to do after we were done. If you want to do it in real time, that's fine too. Go to your Schoology, go to Advanced Formulas and Functions, go to Class Resources, and click Unit 1, Lesson 1, Practice Sheet.
Okay, got it. I just saw a different name under your Excel sheet. That's why.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Yeah, if you want to do it as we go, that's fine. But I'm also going to give you time as well after we're done to practice either by yourself or with a small group or with an Excel Maven that we have for this week. Jesus, do you know how to do this? Question number 2.
Yes, I could try my best, Eric.
All right, Jesus, you've got the power. Before you click on anything, can you clarify with us, what does it mean to be dependent on other cells? Do you know what that term means? For anybody who's uncertain?
I believe dependent is basically when a cell is connected to another cell, like basically after. So for example, let's say total income is used in total expenses.
Yep.
So total income would be dependent to total expenses, and if it's I think it's predescendant. I don't know how to pronounce it exactly, but it's predescendant.
Yeah.
All right, so let's start off then. I guess so for number 2, B5 is an important cell. How can I see where else cell B5 is dependent in other cells? So step 1 is basically clicking on show formulas, and then you go to trace dependence, but you have to make sure first that you have clicked on B5. So in this case, I'm going to click on B5. And then after that, you click on trace dependence. And then so apparently there's no dependent on B5.
Let's do this. Go down to B24. I'm going to put the question wrong. Hit B24 and hit trace dependence.
Okay, and then we click on that.
That's weird. Okay, let me go back and fix that up. But basically what should be happening when he hits trace dependence is you should see an arrow that would connect B5 to B24 because these two cells are reliant on one another to get it done.
I could click on trace.
Yeah, try that. Hit that one on B5. I think you're on the wrong cell. There you go. Trace. Is that it?
There we go.
We got it. So as you can see here, what he just did, sorry about that, guys, is he did B5 and he said trace precedence. So these were the ones that give us the answer to B5.
Yeah.
And if he does the same thing, if he clicks on B24, go ahead and do, or remove the arrows first, which is number 3. So that's right below. There
Right
you
there,
go.
you remove arrows below it.
Yep. Now go ahead and hit the same thing down, B24. Precedence, yep. So as you can see here, this is the way you could find out, what data is important to that cell. So this is a very simple Excel spreadsheet. They'll oftentimes be much more complicated than this. So someone hands you the Excel spreadsheet and they say, okay, find the formulas. You know where to find the formulas, and I can find out which one of these is dependent on the others. Is an important way to go as well. So thank you so much, Jesus. I did the phrasing wrong there. I apologize. So we'll remove that, remove the arrows. All right. Number 4, using a formula, find the average of expenses and place it in cell B26. Luis, are you volunteering to do that for us?
Yeah, sure.
All right, great.
Yo,
Give me
kid,
the-
you wanna come out here?
Whoa, sorry.
Oh, you got some drama going on in your neighborhood.
Nah, that was just my phone.
Yeah, it's all right, Luis. It's okay. All right.
Am I able to? I mean, oh, there we go.
There you go. Yep, you're in control. So how would you find the average of all the expenses?
I would just put equals average and then parentheses. You would put, that's B7, and then I don't know what this symbol is called.
That's called the through.
Yeah, through, and then B23, close parentheses, enter.
Excellent.
And then,
that was my own doing.
yeah, I don't know. Well, this part, I don't know. I think you.
It's okay. I'll go ahead and fix that up for you. You just go back to home and then remove the percentage button.
Yep.
All the way, yep, in the middle. There you go. I was using that cell earlier for that. There you go.
There we go.
Perfect. Thank you, sir. So go ahead and do me a favor. I'll go ahead and do it so people can control this. Now you see how when he typed in that information, how everything got highlighted blue. That's how you can know you did it right. So if Luis by mistake hit B24, well, that's not right because you're not averaging the total expenses. You're averaging all the other expenses. That's how you can make sure that you've done it correctly. So that's the average. As you can see, the average expenses is $1,826.47. For control, thank you, Lewis. All right, using a formula, what percentage of total income is allocated to savings? We don't want to put in B26, we already have something B26, B27. So can anybody figure that out? How do you do the math and figure out what percentage of my total income, which is this number up here, goes towards savings? We probably should make a savings line, huh? Let's say savings. 5,000. All right, so how would I do that? Anybody know? Very simply, equals. You also make sure you have the equal sign. B5 divided by B25. Doing that right? The dollar symbol there. That would come out to about 6% of your total income. So that's there. That's how you can figure out the average. And then the last two things I want to do is using pay special, subtract 25 from all expenses. Those of you who watched the video saw how he did this. Does anybody remember how this is done? Let's imagine that you did this budget, and then you came to realize, oh man, like I'm actually $25 off on every single item in my expenses. All right, this one's kind of fun. 25. All right. Copy. So to copy, I right click, copy. Select all the amounts I want to go on, which is all these. I'm going to hit paste special. All right, not just paste. If I hit paste, it just puts 25 in all of those. Paste special. operation, subtract. Now look what happens. Ready for the magic? 25 came off all of those. It's pretty cool. So you can do it for anything you want. And you do like, what if you want to go back? Oh, that was wrong. Pay special, add 25. 25's add every single one. All right, that's how you do that. Last one, does anybody know how to freeze this first one? So let's imagine for a second, this is another cool thing that Excel can do. It knows what you're gonna do before you even do it. So let's say I take this, Jan, February, March. I scroll over here, see how this little cross turned black? Look what happened. April, May, June, July, August, all the way on it goes. But let's say I wanted to keep this first column, frozen. So when I scrolled over, already is frozen. So when I scroll over, it's staying. When I do that, I hit that, view, freeze panes. I can just do that, freeze the column. And now I scroll, see? And this stays the same. So that's really good when you're creating a budget, because every single month you're going to be receiving an income. Every single month you're going to have expenses. So as opposed to continuing to have to scroll over which one goes here, it's a little annoying. That way it all stays the same. All right. So those were 7 concepts that I wanted you to think through and kind of understand. So I already shared this once, but I'll go ahead and share it again. So go on to your Schoology. Go ahead and click on this class. That's Excel. Click on Unit 1, Advanced Formulas and Functions, and download Unit 1, Lesson 1 practice sheet. When you download that, it's very similar to what you just saw. This is obviously not the spreadsheet. This is just the preview, but it's the exact same thing we just did. But I want you to go ahead and do it on your own. So what I'm going to do is you are an instructor and a magician. Thank you, Ashley. This is all, I'm learning as I go just as much as everyone else is. So what we're going to do is this. Why don't we take like a 5-minute break, and we'll come back at 9:45, and then that gives you time to download the Excel spreadsheet, and then you can either work by yourself, work with a team, or if you want Majida or Amna to help you, they're on standby, available to walk you through as well. So go ahead and go off camera, and we'll go ahead and come back in 5 minutes, 9:45. All right, it's 9:45. We're going to go ahead and come back. I received a piece of feedback from one of your colleagues privately, which I appreciate. I know that many of you are on small computers with very small screens. Some of you might even be on a cell phone right now, which if you're able to get a computer, I highly recommend getting a computer for this class, because most days are going to be like today. We're going to be looking at an Excel spreadsheet. But one thing I want to try out, this is all new to me, so please just be honest. Let me know if this is better. but Zoom has a feature where I can share a portion of my screen. So for those of you, are you able to see like the Excel spreadsheet more up close? Is this good? Is this better for everyone? Can you make a thumbs up if you're like, this looks a lot better? Okay. Because what I can do is I can function this. And the other option I can do as well is, let me stop sharing, is I can share the whole screen, but then Excel has this kind of this cool feature where I can zoom in on the workbook. See? So that's another option as well. The only reason why sharing the portion of the screen isn't ideal is because if you had to go all the way to the top right to click on something for a function, you won't see that if you only share the portion. So I'm going to aim to try to do this more often, so that way people aren't squinting, hurting their eyes to see what I'm doing, as well as you know, making sure that everyone can see what we're doing. But I do encourage you, if you are on a phone doing this course on a phone, that you please try to get a computer for it, because you know we'll be working with workbooks every single day, and I think it'd be just better. And I do understand a lot of you are on small screens, so I will be mindful with that. So we have about 25 minutes of class time left. So what I want to do is this. Oh yeah, that's a really good piece of advice, Ashley. If you don't have a mouse, buy one. I bought a like a wireless mouse. I just stick into my you know, my computer. I think it cost $10 on Amazon. So probably the best $10 I spent in 2020. So we'll do this. So kind of like an LLT time, we'll utilize these last 20 minutes of class to go ahead and work on the spreadsheet that I went ahead and uploaded into Schoology. I want you to do all 8 of those deliverables. Once I know you're done, you can give me a green check. If you need Majida or Amna to walk you through it, if you're like, I am completely, totally, utterly lost, private message me and I'll put you into a room with one of them. Or if you would prefer to work with some of your colleagues on this deliverable, that is an option as well. Just go ahead and private message me. Keep in mind, consent is important. I don't want, you know, David saying, oh, me and Ricky are going to work together, and then Ricky saying, why am I going to a breakout room? We don't want any of that. So talk to your colleagues. Again, if a small group is better. If you want to work alone on this, you can. If you need Majida or Amna's assistance as Excel mavens, private message me. And that's good to know. Okay, so Christian is telling me for the ones using Office 365, we're unable to do anything on formulas. We don't have the same features. We don't have trace dependence or show formulas. Okay, that's fine. Thanks for letting me know that, Christian. Please just put it like a note on your deliverable that says I can't do this due to my software. So if you want to work with a team, go ahead and do that. If you want some guidance, private message me. Otherwise, we'll come back. Let's just say in 15 minutes, and that will bring us to 10:05. And we'll just finish out today's class. All right, we'll give those that were in breakout rooms 15 more seconds. For those of you who finished all 8 of the questions, give me a green check next to your name. So that way I know who's done and who still needs some more time. Looks like Hannah, Muhammad, and Amadul finished up. For those of you who are just making their way back to the main room, give me a green check if you finished all 8 of the questions. Great, great. We have 8 more minutes of class time left. For those of you, let's do this. First of all, I was brought to my attention that on the Year Up computers, you don't have the ability to use the function tab. Is that the case for everyone with a Year Up computer? If so, give me a thumbs up, because if so, I definitely have to raise that to our academic team. So, okay. All right, looks like everyone who has one saying yes, I can't do that. All right, that's very helpful to know for the classes moving forward, that we don't have that ability. So I appreciate that. The other thing I want to mention, was there any one question you can put in the chat box where you're like, yeah, I was totally stuck here. Can someone please explain it to me? And I'll ask someone who finished up, maybe a Muhammad to explain it to you. So in the chat box, anybody's like, I was really stuck on question number blank, and we'll talk through it quickly. Four, 7, how to subtract 5. Let's look at the result. Let's take a look here. Why don't we go ahead and do number 7 for now, because I think that's the most important to know in the workforce, as Usman's question. So Mohammed, can you please share your screen and show us how do you freeze column A so that you can continue to work on your budget without losing your information? Can you do that for me, Mohammed? The share the screen button is the green arrow pointing up at the bottom.
Yeah, Eric, it's not showing the Excel.
Okay, just give me a second. I'll pull it up on my screen and show it. Let me go ahead and do it the way that is the most easy to see. Portion of screen. Zoom out a little bit. All right, so actually we'll do it even make it even easier. Teaching Excel on Zoom is very, very tough. So I appreciate your patience. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to be selecting all. Yeah, Mohammed, you want to go ahead and take control? I'll go ahead and give you the remote.
Yeah.
You can demo it. Go ahead.
Is it working?
Should be. Go ahead and move your mouse. Excuse me. I only had 3 coffees so far today. I'm behind. Are you able to move your mouse?
Yeah. So you want to click on view.
Uh-huh.
Is it working or not?
You know what? Let's try this. I don't think it will. I don't think it will work on the. Oh, I know what you did. I think you pressed the annotate button by accident. There you go. All right, now try moving the screen. Moving the mouse. There you go. And hit view. Yep.
And then will I say freeze panel.
Mm-hmm.
Freeze the first one.
Mm-hmm.
And then it will definitely work.
Yeah. So now I'm gonna go ahead and take this over again, Mohammed, because I want to point out something for people. So I'm gonna stop share the remote.
Okay.
Just to make sure this is kind of Excel 101, but for those of you who are uncertain, I want to make sure that we're not assuming anything. The row is like what goes across, okay? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, all the way across. The column is what goes up and down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all the way down. So rows is across, columns are up and down. Just if you freeze the top row, all right, now I scroll down and see how the January, February, March stays. It's pretty cool. But then if I, unfreeze all my panes, now I scroll down, you see January, February, March is gone. Same over here. Freeze first column. Mohammed demoed it very nicely. Scroll over and that stays the same. Unfreeze all my panes. See, gone. All right, it's 10:12. Let's conclude class with this. Oh, thank you all for sharing that. Really appreciate it. Due tonight, if you have not already, I don't want to sound like a broken record. Get on the LinkedIn learning videos. If it's not working for you, send me a screenshot via email, and I'll share it with our team, and we'll get you logged in. But if you felt like today's class was like, oh my gosh, it's a lot of information, It's only going to get more and more challenging in the next month and a half. So watch those videos. If you watch them, then you'll already have a basic understanding of what we're going to do before we even do it. We're following that curriculum to a T. All right. So make sure you do that. And then the discussion board that goes with it. Some of you have already done this. Thank you for those who have already done it, but that is due tonight. So for those who did not watch the videos yet, you have some catching up to do. And then due tomorrow night is the sheet you just worked on. I just put the deliverable in Schoology. So for those of you who are done, you just go ahead and submit it. You're finished. And then for those of you who have a year of laptop and can't do some of the functions like the tracing, just put a note in the Excel sheet. And I'll be cognizant from now on to recognize that there are some functions they just can't do if you're on the Europe machine, and we'll find workarounds. We'll make it happen. Thank you all for your patience. My first time ever teaching Excel, and my first time ever teaching Excel on Zoom. So we're gonna get through this together. We're gonna learn. We're gonna make it happen, and you'll be better off for it, and so will I. So that's what's most important. So it is time. Thank you all for being a wonderful class as usual, and I'll see you tomorrow at 10:30.
Thank you, Eric.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Eric. Gracias muchos,
Thank you.
Eric.
De nada.